After listening to the story Jumanji, I wanted to give you some discussion questions that you could talk about with your family. Maybe you do this before bed or even when you wake up during breakfast. But it's important to talk about our stories after we read them. Helps us better understand it. So, have you ever played a game or put something together without reading the instructions? What happened? I want you to take a moment, you could even pause the video, and talk about this question with the people around you. If you're alone, you could write them down or comment below. Our next question is, what do you do when you are bored? The way Peter and Judy were before they found the game. How do you find imaginative ways to amuse yourself? Again, pause the video and talk about these questions. The next question is, what might have happened to Peter and Judy if they had not read the instructions to Jumanji? What might happen to the Budwing boys? And our last question is, how do Peter and Judy change as a result of their adventure with Jumanji? What have they learned? So think about how they were from the beginning of the story and then how they changed throughout. What are they like at the end? How did Jumanji change them? What have they learned? After you're done discussing those questions, I have more activities to do if you enjoyed this book and you want more. So stay tuned and I'm going to give you some more ideas. First idea is, in Jumanji, wild creatures and events enter into Peter and Judy's normal home life. Imagine a situation in which strange animals or events enter into the context of a very familiar situation. Home, school, grandma's house, etc. It can be anywhere that's familiar to you. And then write about it. Okay, so you're kind of writing about what would happen if Jumanji was here. Another idea is to study the way Chris Van Allsburg, our author, wrote the instructions that are included with the Jumanji game. Notice how they proceed in a clear step-by-step fashion. Think of something you know how to do really well and write clear step-by-step instructions on how to do it. This could be something as simple as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or it could all be really hard and you could do something that might take a lot of time and practice. Maybe something that you want to teach other people how to do. Example could be like knitting. I don't know how to do that, but if I had step-by-step instructions, I bet I could learn. Our next idea is, for art, you could design a board game which, if brought to life, would be very different for the players. You'll have to call it something different, of course. The magic word Jumanji will only work in that game. So, what will be yours? The next idea is, stay with what if, and imagine that the children did not finish the game. What if they were left with the problems created? 2 feet of water in the house, lions, pythons, and monkeys, not to mention the volcano. Devise solutions to each problem other than finishing the game. And what if 6 kids had played the game? What's on the other squares that would come to life? Right? Because in the book, they only talk about a couple or they get to move ahead. So I'm curious what the other squares say. I'm also curious to see what would have happened if other people played. What if they never finished the game? Okay, another idea is, this book is like any movie that you've seen. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Is this book like any movies you've seen? What about like Indiana Jones movies? In a way, they're all on quests. The children must get to the end of the game. What are Indiana Jones's quests? Can you find quests in other books, television shows, and movies? You can even make up your own quest. You can also brainstorm ways in which board games are better than, or not as good as, video games. Bring in your favorite board game and have one lunch hour where everybody in your family plays. And my last idea is you could come up with a playlist of songs that would go well with each scene in the book. What song would you pick for the scene with the monkeys in the kitchen? I think it's a lot of fun how movies have music that fits perfectly with what they're doing in that moment. So if this book, if we opened it up and it had music to it, what songs would you pick? Think about songs that you hear on the radio. Are there any that would go perfectly with this monkey scene? What about the lion part? What about the part when they found the board game? I'm curious to hear what songs you pick, so make sure you comment below. Let me know if you try any of those ideas. I'd love to see your pictures. You can always email those to me. And I also wanted to share some information with you. Did you know that the author of Jumanji, Chris Van Allsburg, also wrote a certain book I bet all of you know and love? I'll give you some clues. It takes place during the winter. So think about all the books you know that take place in the winter. The setting, so it's cold and snowy. This book also has a little boy getting on a train during the middle of the night. This train is traveling to the North Pole. Do you know what book it is? Yeah, it's The Polar Express. Chris Van Allsburg has many great books. Okay, Jumanji's one of them. The Polar Express. He wrote Zathura. So if you like Jumanji, you should check out Zathura. It's kind of like Jumanji, except for jungle creatures. It's happening in outer space. I would love to hear what you think about his books. He has many others as well. You can just Google Chris Van Allsburg, and all of his books will pop up at the top. And a lot of his books, they turned into movies too. So Zathura is a movie. I believe it has the same boy from the Hunger Games. I can't think of his name at the moment. The actor who plays Peeta, I'm pretty sure he is in Zathura too. So you have to watch both or read both and let me know which one you like better. Do you like Jumanji with the jungle theme or Zathura with the space theme? Well, that is all I have. That was our last week of summer school. I hope you enjoyed this last book that we read together. I thought it was a fun one. I can't wait to hear about it when you come back to school. Can't wait to see your faces. I know you'll have a mask on, but I'll have mine on and I'm going to be smiling under it every day. I'm so excited to be back with you. I can't wait to see my teacher friends too. Enjoy these last few days of summer. I miss you guys, and I hope you have a great summer. See you soon.